What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today's video I'll be going over the brand new SSR character Child ENDORSI, and I'll be giving you guys some tips on how to use this character. But before I get started on the video, make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe, and also turn on post notification bell so that you guys can always stay tuned as when I post new videos. I really appreciate it. And if you're new here on the channel, I created a brand new Discord server. You can join the server by going to my channel description. You'll see the server link there, and I'll also post the server link in the comment section down below. But anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's hop right into the video. So we have the brand new character Child ENDORSI. Now, I've been testing out this character ever since yesterday, and I have her at 2 blue stars. Now, her exclusive equipment is at level 4, and these are the equipments I have for her. Unfortunately, I don't have an S grade equipment yet, but I'm working on that. But let's go over her exclusive equipment. So for her level 1, actually no, before I do that, we need to go over her skill first so that you guys can actually understand how this character works. So for her passive, the first time ENDORSI takes fatal damage in battle, she removes debuffs from herself and becomes unable to fight. So whenever ENDORSI is taking big damage, like whenever she's about to die, she's basically going to be immobile. She's just going to sit there on the battlefield. She's going to lie down on the battlefield and she won't be able to do anything. And when this happens, she will place a Furious Snake Charmer on an enemy. A Furious Snake Charmer appears and applies the death sentence debuff to the enemy who dealt the damage then attacks. So the enemy that landed the fatal attack on ENDORSI, they're going to get a death sentence debuff on them. So we're going to go down. The Snake Charmer's attacks do not miss. Enemies with 40% of their HP or less will be killed instantly. Otherwise, enemies will take 900% of ENDORSI's attack as damage. Applies damage instead of instant death if the target is a boss. So this also works on bosses as well. The death sentence is a debuff. This debuff cannot be removed and lasts for 7 seconds, decreasing the target's defense by 60%. If the target dies while death sentence is active, ENDORSI is revived with 30% of her max HP recovered. If the target does not die, ENDORSI dies. If there are no surviving teammates and the target does not die from the Snake Charmer's attack, ENDORSI dies instantly. So her passive is huge. I feel like her passive is the biggest part about her kit, because this is what's going to make her a really interesting and decent character. The death sentence debuff. I'm going to explain more about it when I show you guys, how she does on the battlefield. But pretty much when she takes fatal damage, in order for her to place the death sentence debuff, she has to take fatal damage first, and the opponent that did that fatal damage to her will have the death sentence debuff on them, and she will basically place like a 60% defense decrease on that enemy, and allowing your allies to do more damage so that you can get rid of that enemy before the 7 seconds ends, so that you basically have to get rid of the enemy before the death sentence debuff goes away. And when you kill that enemy before the death sentence debuff goes away, ENDORSI's going to revive herself. So I feel like this right here, Princess Gem, this is like what makes her really, really good. And for her first active, Hidden Talent, ENDORSI quickly stabs to deal 150% of her attack as damage 3 times, jolting them before dashing toward them for one more stab that deals 240% of her attack as damage and knocks them back. Then the Snake Charmer clones fall upon 2 nearby enemies to deal 240% of her attack as damage 4 times per enemy, jolting them. Enemies hit by this skill bleed for 4 seconds, taking 100% of her attack as damage every second while bleeding. So she has constant damage involved in her kit as well. She has knockback, she has jolting. That's pretty much her first active. And for her second active, ENDORSI focuses to enhance her swordsmanship. Her basic attacks turn into AoE attacks for 10 seconds, and her attack increases proportionally to the HP she has lost at the time of skill activation. Her attack increases by 1.5% for every 1% HP of her 1% of her HP loss. So her second active scales off of her HP loss. So the more HP she loses, the more she'll be able to do damage. And then for her special move, ENDORSI becomes temporarily invincible and jumps to the enemy with the most energy, striking them down with her sword to deal 500% of her attack as damage. Knocking them down, this Snake Charmer's clones then pour out to deal 380% of her attack as damage to the surrounding area and block energy recovery for 10 seconds. When ENDORSI has 60% of her HP or less, The damage dealt by the snake charmer clones increases by 100% and the energy of enemies that are hit by them is decreased by 250. So her special skill is basically an energy blocker. She's able to completely block the amount of energy your enemies are able to get. So it says block energy recovery for 10 seconds. So they won't be able to get energy for 10 seconds. So her kit, for a special move, she has energy recovery debuff. She has attack increase based off of how many HP she loses. She has AoE attack as well. She has knockback, jolting, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, she has constant damage. And for her passive, she's able to revive herself if you're able to kill the enemy who has the death sentence charm on them, and she's able to inflict 60% defense shred. So that's pretty much her kit. Now, one character that you want to pair ENDORSI with is Yiwa. Now, the reason why I say you should pair her with Yiwa is because you want to get rid of the enemy who has the death sentence mark on them. Like, you want to get rid of that enemy immediately so that ENDORSI can revive herself and she'll be able to do a lot of damage when she revives. So Yiwa is a really good character to pair up with ENDORSI because Yiwa has AoE attack and she's able to attack everybody on the field. Now, the biggest drawback is, of course, accuracy. The only thing that's holding these two duels to get, the only thing that's holding them back is the fact that accuracy is preventing Yiwa from actually landing her attacks. So that's like the only thing you have to worry about is Yiwa's accuracy. You want to make sure that Yiwa's accuracy is kind of high. Right now I have her at 190, so I'm trying to bring it higher so that she'll be able to land her attacks more often when ENDORSI dies and she places the death sentence charm on the enemy. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some gameplay and how she works. So this is pretty much the team that I'm using. I'm using ENDORSI over here, Yiwa over here, so that Yiwa can do her AoE attack. We're using Zahard as well so that he could place the defense decrease, and if the opponent, if they're using their shield, Zahard is basically going to get rid of those shields. Hwarun is there to basically increase attack and crit, and Evan is here for, you know, the immortality. So if your ENDORSI dies immediately, don't worry. She's gonna revive herself if you're able to get rid of the target that killed her. So I'm going to show you guys how it works. Now, she would work perfectly against units that can one-shot. So let's say you're going to use Child ENDORSI against like that fish hook guy, because he one-shots. ENDORSI is a good counter to him because she's going to place that 60% defense decrease on that enemy when she places the death sentence. So as you guys can see, you see that mark right there? That's the mark I'm talking about. So whenever you see that mark on the target, you want to get rid of that target immediately so that she can revive herself. Because ENDORSI right now, she has 1 HP. She's just lying there on the field. You see ENDORSI's lying down. And once we get rid of that target right there, okay, now Yiwa's going to land her attack. Let's hope that we're able to get rid of this target immediately. Come on. So you guys saw that. We weren't able to get rid of that target because we weren't able to kill off that target before the death sentence charm goes away. So we're gonna go ahead and retry that. I'm gonna go ahead and try to put Hwarun over here, and let's see if we're able to get rid of that enemy before the debuff goes away. You basically have 7 seconds to get rid of that enemy before ENDORSI dies permanently. So she's knocked out right there. Now our Yiwa got knocked down. I think it's because our Hwarun, like the way we position our Hwarun was kind of bad. Now ENDORSI was able to revive herself because we were able to eliminate the enemy that killed ENDORSI. So that's pretty much how you want to play with her, and look at her damage right here. And now she has the energy recovery debuff. And then she's going to cast her skill again. Look at that, dead automatically. So that's how you want to use this character. You want to use Yiwa because Yiwa is going to do that AoE attack, and she's basically going to have a guaranteed hit on everyone on the battlefield. So let's go ahead and check the damage. As you guys can see, 1 million damage. She was able to tank 1 million. Hwarun was able to do 4 million. So that's pretty much how you want to use ENDORSI. Whenever using ENDORSI, you want to make sure that you have a DPS unit that's able to basically have AoE attacks, because if you don't have a unit that's able to get rid of anybody, like that's able to immediately get rid of an opponent, ENDORSI, she's not gonna be that good because she's gonna die off instantly. And I realize that she's really squishy, so you want to pair her up with Yiwa, because Yiwa is going to do the AoE attack, which will result in ENDORSI reviving herself, and she's going to do more damage. So let's see if we can actually clear this next trial. Now we have this guy right here. So we have this guy. This guy, he can literally one shot. So I'm going to put ENDORSI over here, and we're going to put Warren over here. And let's see if Yiwa can get rid of the one shot guy, because he's definitely going to one shot my ENDORSI. He's going to do it. Okay, so he wasn't able to do it because ENDORSI went invincible. But it seems like this character right here is going to kill off ENDORSI. So now, where's the snake charm at? Okay, the snake charm is, you guys see the snake charm? The snake charm is on Apple right there. So we have to kill off Apple before the 7 seconds are up. If we don't kill her on time, ENDORSI won't be able to revive herself. So let's see if we can get rid of her. I don't think it's gonna happen. If Yiwa can actually, okay, so we actually got rid of her, but it was too late. The 7 seconds were already up and ENDORSI died. So that's pretty much how it works. Whenever you see that snake charm there, you want to make sure that that target gets eliminated immediately so that ENDORSI can revive herself. If you don't do it in 7 seconds, if you don't do it on time, she's gonna die. So that's pretty much how it works. As you guys can see, 343,000 damage, and Yi was able to do a lot of damage as well. Now we have this one shot guy as well, and we have, okay, this trajectory guy. So it seems like she basically inflicts that death sentence charm, like whichever person lands the fatal attack. So even though ENDORSI is facing off against a melee unit, whoever lands the final attack, as you can see, he landed that final attack, and now he has the charm on him, and then now Warren is going to get rid of him, and boom, ENDORSI, she revived herself. So we got rid of the guy that has this mark on him, and now ENDORSI was able to revive herself, and now she can do a lot more damage. So that's pretty much how you want to use her. And plus, she's going to place the energy recovery debuff on enemy units, so they won't be able to use their special skills that much. So she's a pretty good unit to use against healers, because healers who spam a lot, she's definitely going to be a good unit to counter Jia. So let's go ahead and check the stats. 1 million damage. Yiwa doing 1 million damage as well. So that's pretty much how you want to use ENDORSI. Like, I've seen a lot of people saying that ENDORSI is extremely squishy. Now, I feel like the reason why she's squishy is because of her passive. Like, her passive actually makes sense. Like, I understand why she's squishy, and it would make sense for her to be squishy, because if she wasn't a squishy unit, then her passive would be completely pointless, because the whole point of her passive is that you want her to die so that she can revive herself. And then when she revives herself, she will literally take less damage. Like, whenever she revives, she doesn't take a lot of damage for some reason. So you want her to die so that she can place that 60% defense decrease on the enemy when they have the death sentence debuff on them. And then the fact that they have the mark on them, they're going to take more damage, and that's going to allow you to do more damage to that target. And she's going to heal herself back up, and she's going to instantly use her special skill so that she can place that energy recovery debuff. So in my opinion, ENDORSI is a really solid character in my opinion. It's been a while since they released a pretty good, I mean, they released Vespa. Okay, Hwarun was good for sure, still busted. Yiwa busted as well. Jia, one of the best healers in the game. Vespa, one of the best boss units in the game. Kaseya is decent. I'll say Kaseya is decent. She's pretty good, but sometimes inconsistent with her attacks. Kunran wasn't bad either, but I'll say for ENDORSI, she's definitely like she seems interesting. Like, her kit seems interesting, and it seems like she's going to have a lot of potential, because her kit also involves bosses as well. Because if we go to her passive, let me see where it says it. It says As you guys can see, the Snake Charmer's attacks do not miss. Enemies with 40% of their HP or less will be killed instantly. Otherwise, enemies will take 900% of ENDORSI's attacks as damage. Applies damage instead of instant death if the target is a boss. So if you're going up against a boss unit and you're using ENDORSI, she won't be able to, use that instant death on the boss, because that would be broken, because you can't instantly kill a boss. Instead, she will just apply damage instead. So her kit involves almost every single thing in the game, to be honest. It involves bosses, it involves revive, it involves knockback, jolting, revive, and it also involves defense decrease, it involves energy recovery, debuff. Like, her kit is just absolutely insane, and I feel like the more copies you get on this character, the stronger she'll get, because she does really good damage. Like I said, if you guys are struggling with her because she is squishy, like I said, use her with Yua, because Yua has that AoE attack, and she's going to basically give you a guaranteed elimination, because she's also providing that defense shred, because Yua also has defense shred in her kit as well. So Yua and ENDORSI, they're really a good pair together, and especially Warren as well. So that's pretty much the team I'm using. We have a multi-summon. I'm going to go ahead and pop this. Hopefully we can get another copy of her. Let's see what we get. Of course, we got nothing. Yo, these summons are really horrible. I'm not gonna lie to you. But we're close to that SSR plus pity. If we actually get a Mazino, that would be crazy. But yeah, put your thoughts down below in the comment section what you guys think. Do you guys think ENDORSI is pretty cracked, pretty good, or is she not good? I'll have to see y'all's opinions. But anyways, I'll be leaving the video at that. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all for watching this video. I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.